What's going on, guys? Welcome to Own the Chaos. My name is Brad, and we talk about everything over-the-counter stocks. So what we're going to talk about tonight is my normal, Stock Watch Sunday, where I talk about my top 3 stocks that I am watching for this week. But I also wanted to touch a little bit on this Elon Musk drama. I've been getting a lot of questions about it. What's my opinion? What's my take? What should we do with Tesla? And even though that's not really the type of stock that I trade, I still want to give my opinion on it because I think it does matter. For those of you joining me for the first time, welcome. If you're interested in joining my free community that I've created along with my partner, Jake, please click the links down in the description. We are a community of almost 2,500 members worldwide. It's a welcoming community where we can help you learn to trade, and it's absolutely free. We celebrate each other's success no matter how big or small. And it's just a great place to be, in my opinion. But if you're looking to step up your trading career and learn a little bit more about trading, especially when it comes to like stock scanners, or if you just never traded in your entire life and you just want to educate yourself, because this is stuff that you just don't learn in school, right? So you can check out my course as well. Links are in the description for that, or mentorships. By all means, check that out. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out through me through Discord or Facebook. We're all over the place. It is WeTradeHQ.com. And so let's go ahead and get started. Let me welcome some folks here. Bob, Alan, all the usual suspects. Good to see you. Hussein, Mark, Muiz, Papa. Good to see you guys. Hope you guys had a great weekend. And so let's go ahead and get started with this thing, right? The Elon Musk drama. Look. It just irritates the heck out of me. We had this whole drama about 3 weeks ago about him going on Joe Rogan's show and legally smoking weed, which I personally feel there's no issue with. I mean, he was drinking whiskey and nobody batted an eye at that. But as soon as he took one drag of, a spliff or something like that, it was a huge problem, which kind of blew my mind a little bit. But with this whole thing, I have a different spin on it. Okay, so what Elon did, so if you're not familiar with what happened, Elon Musk put a tweet out. I am getting all kinds of stuff going on. So Elon put out a tweet about Tesla potentially going private, which is a big no-no for the SEC. And if you're a publicly traded company, you should not be putting out public information about your own company unless it's gone through your board of members and you're putting it out in an actual form that the SEC requires you to do and all that stuff. So he just put it out there, and it was one of those hypothetical things, which still is a huge problem. And in my opinion, he was in the wrong in that. And I think that if you ask him, he also felt that he was wrong in doing that. So do I feel that he should have been punished? Yes, absolutely. And I think the fines were acceptable. I think that there's nothing wrong with that. But the part of the settlement that really kind of irked me was having him step down as chairman of the board. He's still CEO of the company, which means he still gets to run the operations and stuff like that. But he has a lot less control now over Tesla, which I think is a real shame. I mean, Elon Musk is one of the greatest innovative minds of our time. His name will go down in history forever. And so this kind of reminds me, though, and I'm a huge history person. I'm a huge car guy. And so just going back through history, look, the big 3 in the automotive industry is Ford, Chrysler, and GM, General Motors. And they have done everything they can. They've done an excellent job at keeping the market just to those 3 companies for over 100 years. Okay, and this is going back really far, but if you go back to Preston Tucker, who created the Tucker 48. And it was a great innovative car back in the late 40s and 50s. I mean, it came up with stuff that seatbelts, fuel injection, stuff that was like people had never heard of. And these big 3 car companies thought was insane. And you made people think that kind of stuff was ridiculous. Was actually now used in all of their cars and everybody else's. But they thought it was ridiculous, and they went through this whole lawsuit, which had nothing to do with the car. But basically, they drove him out of the automotive industry. And I feel as if the same thing is happening. This is a modern-day version of the Tucker 48 tragedy. But in my opinion, I don't think that Tesla is going anywhere as a company. I think that they have, have quite a stronghold in the industry, especially in the American car company industry. And I just don't think they're going anywhere. So if you're asking me, you know, what should we do with the stock right now? In my opinion, I think it's way too volatile to make some sort of entry. I think we have to wait to see if it settles out a little bit to see where it goes. So if you're looking to make some sort of investment decision on it, I would say wait till the dust settles. You know, before it was kind of like, yeah, just buy that dip because it's like you're making an emotional decision. But here it's a little bit more serious when you're chairman of the board stepping down and is essentially, you know, the face of the company and is responsible for so many innovative things when it comes to Tesla that, like, you know, there is a certain level of uncertainty there. And I think it's one that investors probably should worry about. So this is not something, again, that I'm making recommendations on. This is all strictly based off of opinion because so many of you have been asking me about it. And so there you go. There you have it. That's my opinion. I love Elon Musk. I love everything he does. You know, I truly believe that he's just a mind that's looking to create a better place in this world. You know, make this world a better place for all of us. You know, environmentally, you know, just and just innovatively with all kinds of stuff. I mean, just look. I mean, there's just so much he's involved in. It's more than just the electric car for Elon, and you know, it's just a shame what's going on with him. I think that, like I said, the fines are fine. You know, I don't have any problem with that, but asking him to step down as chairman is a huge deal. I think it's a major problem for Tesla. So, anyway, let's go ahead and get on with the other part of Stock Watch Sunday, which is my top 3 stocks that I'm watching. So, RDGL was an exciting stock to watch this week, so I still feel that this is one to watch for this week, and I'll go ahead and give you my reasons as to why is that. DIRV was another one that was pretty exciting to watch this past week, and I think that we'll see a nice continuation to this week as well. And the other one is a little bit of a wild card, which is MLHC. We saw some activity going on with that towards the end of this week. And again, I think that's something that's going to be watched out for this coming week. And I'll go ahead and break that down and show you why I see value in the stocks. Again, just to kind of give you a little bit of a disclaimer here, this isn't by any means me telling you that you should be buying these. The whole point of Stock Watch Sunday is just kind of give you an idea of how I find success in trading these, you know, over-the-counter stocks, and you know, and showing you how I find value in them. And if you know, you can, you know, grab some ideas from how I work my system and how I find value and success in trading these types of stocks, then you know that I've done my job. So let's go ahead and check that out. I see Andrew, who's a mad scientist. I actually know him. He's part of my mentor group. He says, good afternoon. I guess you just joining us. So welcome, Andrew. Good to see you, buddy. So let's go ahead and pull this up. So if you aren't part of WeTradeHQ, I always like to check out what's going on within my own community. So if you go to WeTradeHQ.com, this is what comes up if you type in a ticker up in this search bar here. So I already have MLHC pulled up. Obviously, there's not much to see here on the chart right now because it was been trading at 0001 for so long, and it's just recently gotten some serious activity, and this is why it's on my watch list, and it's kind of one of those wild cards because for me these 000 stocks are super tricky. I haven't had much luck with them at all. I will say that my largest trade ever was on a 000 stock. I traded MSPC way back in the early spring. You know, I made well over $20,000 profit on MSPC because I got in it right around this price, actually. So, but that's not to say that these are consistent gainers here. They're very tricky because oftentimes they have huge share structures and all kinds of like other stuff going on when it comes to like debt and that sort of thing. So this is one of those things where it's like, yes, watch it. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. You know, just see where it goes. You know, we saw all kinds of volume here. If you're looking at this trading view chart here, saw tons of volume. You know, I was kind of the only one that really kind of shouted this out and you know, just kind of saw some potential there on Friday. But, you know, if you're looking to get some more information, I would highly encourage you to check out our Discord link. You can check out Discord, and it takes you directly to our Discord group on WeTradeHQ.com. I'm not logged in right now, but you know, if I just clicked on login, it would take you right there. And we also have our new streamer. So this is actually relatively new. So it's a little bit fluid right now as far as development is concerned. But you can see here that anytime a ticker that you're researching is tweeted, or maybe a Reddit post is put up, or just news in general comes out on it, it will be here on this news streamer tab. So it's really cool. If you're looking for, due diligence, we're trying to make WeTradeHQ.com your one-stop shop for that. So check it out. So this is MLHC. Now, I don't want to go into anything as far as technical analysis goes because there's really just not much to give you as far as this chart's concerned. So what I do is that when I'm looking for to try to find value in this, I'll go to otcmarkets.com and see what I can find. Now, I go to security details. That's one of the first places I look when I'm looking up a new stock. And at first glance, I hate this. Okay, this float is atrocious. It's huge, which means that it's going to take a lot of buying power for a stock like this to move, to take any kind of steps upwards as far as any kind of trend goes, or any kind of price action. It's going to take a lot of buying power. But I will say the one thing that was attractive to me, and this is why I started to see volume in this, is that I had 1.2 million or 1.2 billion in volume just on Friday alone, which told me that there's a lot of eyeballs on this, and there's a lot of volume that's coming in that could potentially move this. I mean, this is not far from the share structure that I saw on MSPC back in March when I had my biggest trade ever. So while this is typically one that I won't look at, just because this kind of share structure kind of creeps me out. I don't like looking at this kind of stuff. There are exceptions to the rule, and this one is that there's so much volume coming in on this thing that I honestly feel that the volume is there to be able to move this and overcome the debt and the share structure that's going on with MLHC. And so that leads me to the next part of my due diligence, which goes into the disclosures and news that comes out on this stuff. So looking at this 1512G, it's not a big deal. They're non-reporting, so they not reported to the SEC. Well, which is good and bad. They're not going to be suspended or anything like that from the SEC anyway. And so if I look in news, this is kind of what piqued my interest here. If I look at the news, look at what's come out recently. If I look at 9/24, they had international sales with Mexico, which is pretty awesome, $370,000 in orders, and that was released on September 24th. And the one that was released on the 27th, which I thought was quite interesting, was this acquisition. Their acquisition of, basically it's just kind of like a snacks company. They have nuts, candy, specialties, whatever. And so what seems to be flying around as far as rumors are concerned, that perhaps they're looking to get into the cannabis industry. And I think that's, in my opinion, what's really kind of prompted a lot of this buying. And while we can't validate whether or not that's actually going to be happening, what do we know about the OTC? Well, a lot of times there's always a flavor of the season. And, last season it was the crypto craze. Anybody mentioned or whispered cryptocurrency and everybody was buying the hell out of it. So that's the same thing that could be going on here. Maybe it's legitimate, maybe it's not, but that's why we watch it, right? We're not here to make buying or selling decisions on this show. It's just to watch and see if you can find value in this. So take that for what you will. They also added that they won't be converting any of their preferred stock for 12 months. So that's another good catalyst there. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with MLHC. Again, this is why I call it a wild card, because it's trading such cheap price here, and the share structure is huge. So it's not really something that I'm like, oh yeah, this is absolutely something that I'm super confident in. This is sometimes what we call like a lotto play. MLHC, tons of volume. I think that it can be overcome based off of the volume that's coming in. Look, actually it says OTC Markets is reporting 1.3 billion at the end of the day on Friday. 222,000 trades. That's a huge amount of attention that this is getting. So that's why it was on my radar. It popped up on my scanner on Equity Feed, and that's why I'm sharing it with you guys today. So DIRV is the next one. You guys know that I've been watching this for a while now, so I'll go ahead and pull that up for you. DIRV, This one's got me excited. I called this out, and I got into this stock around 0056. You can see that I've been chatting quite a bit about it. There's other folks within our community that do, but this one has me really excited. Within my mentorship group, I've called supports and resistances quite a bit here. You know, when I got in at 0056, it was hanging out around here. I thought that perhaps this would be a good opportunity to get into it. So I went ahead and took a position, and then I told everybody within my mentorship group as we were watching this being traded live the other day that 9.5 seemed to be the really heavy resistance. 0095, trying to get through to that penny was a really tough area for DIRV. Lo and behold, news came out on DIRV they just kind of released a PR, and for me, at first glance, I thought it was kind of like a fluff PR, and in reality it was, but perhaps some people kind of take this as, and again, we're going back to the cannabis market, that, you know, they're looking to, you know, potentially get security surveillance technology into the cannabis market, which we all know is a huge opportunity for revenue and adding valuation to their company, blah, blah, blah. Anytime anybody mentions the flavor of the season, you know, there's attention that's drawn to it. So DIRV could potentially be another one of those plays. They also had and I watched it, it was quite interesting. They had a interview with NASDAQ in Times Square this past week, and it was just released late last week as well, which I encourage you to check that out. And so that's why I think DIRV is still one to watch for. I don't think that, you know, we're done with this one. There's still a lot of activity going on, still trading quite well. It's hanging around a penny. If we can get sustained gains up over that 120 mark, I think that, you know, there will be some smooth sailing. Once we get past that heavy resistance area, you know, it struggled to stay up there, but I think it's consolidating quite nicely around that 1 penny range. So keep an eye on this week, and we'll see what it goes. So the last one is RDGL. RDGL was one that really got a lot of people excited. I got into this at 0088. Let's go ahead and pull up the chart on this one. RDGL has so much going on with it, and I think that we're far from over in RDGL. We had a healthy pullback, in my opinion. A lot of folks in our group made some really serious cash on RDGL. I shouted this out in a 0088 range, so right around this consolidation area. I got into this, what was it, early, I think it was early last week. And so here's why. Here's why it was moving. So if you look at the news, let me get that pulled up for you guys. So RDGL is a company that it's a pharmaceutical company. And in particular, they're looking to treat and cure, potentially, canine sarcoma, which is cancer. You know, and they have successfully treated this canine sarcoma, which is a huge deal, because not only are they looking to treat dogs with it, but they're looking to potentially get some sort of FDA approval and potentially apply it to humans. Now, the other thing is that George Sharp, who's well known for kind of being the truth seeker on a lot of these OTC stocks, because as we all know, some of them and a lot of them can be very scammy. So he's very a huge presence in the OTC community, who basically goes out and calls these other OTC scams out on their BS. But he's actually chosen to basically partner with RDGL on a consultation level, and he's very much invested in this company. So it's, for me, it's very telling for somebody like George Sharp to be consulting with this company, because usually he's on the defensive. Here, he's kind of the opposite. You know, he sees the value in this stock and is truly on board with what it is that they're trying to do. The other thing is that, yes, they are in debt, but they have chosen to not or halt their toxic selling, eliminate secure toxic debt, and they stopped that dilution process on September 25th, looking to well, it's a how do I want to say it? So it's a period where they're not going to be diluting. We'll just put it that way. So from Wednesday, September 26th through October 10th, they're not going to be diluting the stock. And their hope is that within that time frame, they will be able to figure out a way to not have it return. So they're looking to take care of all the debt that they have, especially when it comes to toxic and convertible debt. And hopefully before October 10th, a lot more will go on. We saw how putting a halt to that dilution really sent this stock. So I got in at 0088. A lot of folks got in right around that range, and we saw highs of 025, which was a 400% gain. Really 400% gain from when it was shouted out even earlier in the 003, 004 range. A lot of other folks, especially I Like BB Stock, who's in our group, called this out for well over a month and saw the value in it. So it's an amazing play. I think we're far from over. Like I said, it had a healthy pullback towards the end of the week. And we'll see what goes on for the rest of this week and into that October 10th deadline. So there you have it, folks. RDGL, DIRV, and MLHC are those three stocks that I have watching for this week. If you liked what you saw here, if you learned a little bit of something, if this piqued your interest on the types of gains that you can experience in the OTC, come check us out. It's WeTradeHQ.com, and we have a Discord group. Again, it's a welcoming community of traders, whether you're just starting out or you've been trading for forever, for 20 years plus. It doesn't matter. Check us out. We're here for you when it comes to DD, technical analysis, just chit-chatting about whatever it is that you want to talk about. And, the other nice thing is that we're a pretty tight-knit group. We're a little bit more than just ticker symbols and dollar signs, guys. We actually care about you, okay? So for me, I think it's one of the most unique things that we have about our community. We're 2,500 strong worldwide, and we just genuinely care about each other and each other's success, and that's what makes us different. So check us out. Again, it's WeTradeHQ.com. Just going to go ahead and check to see if there's anybody here that has any direct questions that maybe I can answer, as always. Somebody said it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I guess that's referencing the Elon Musk thing. Yeah, I just think it's kind of silly as well. All right. So yeah, so Michael says, should I short Tesla? Look, Michael, if you didn't catch it in the beginning, I kind of addressed this. For me, if I was going to be trading Tesla, especially if it was like on a long-term basis, I would, or even if it was short-term, at this point, I think Tesla is a little too volatile to really do anything with. That's just my opinion. Again, you don't have to take it. This is just kind of me giving my opinion. Everybody asked me what I thought, so here is what I think. And I think that if I were to make a trade like that on Tesla, I would wait until the dust settles. Wait until it maybe bottoms out. Find some sort of support level if you're looking to make some sort of trade on it. I don't think getting in at the open tomorrow would be a good idea. Again, just my opinion. I would just wait to see how it does and how it reacts to all of this news that happened over this weekend. So, we saw it drop 15% after hours on Friday. So who knows what's going to happen pre-market tomorrow. It's just something that I think that I would probably just keep a close eye on. But I don't know if I would make any kind of buying or selling decision on it just yet, because we just don't know where it's headed as far as the stock itself. So looking at some other questions here. Andrew says, looking at COTE on Yahoo, it's weird. It says that range is for the 52-week high is from 0003 to $120. That sounds a little crazy to me as well. But for COTE, we've gone over this in a couple of sessions. But COTE for me, I think is just too thick to get through. It needs a lot more buying power. If it saw some sort of buying power like MLHC, then maybe I'd be a little bit more. It would be a little bit more on my radar. But it really just doesn't have that buying power to get through all of that muck that it has as far as that convertible debt's concerned. Share structure is real ugly on that. I know it's not per se a valuable stock, but what do you think of HMPQ on Monday with the recent removal of CE status. So I think CE status, when it gets removed, is always a big deal. And I saw a couple of folks within our community talking about HMPQ and how it had some pretty nice moves this week. So removal of a CE. So if you guys aren't familiar with that, a caveat emptor is a status that OTC Markets puts on a stock when they might not be doing the things that they should be doing. It could be promoting their stock without disclosing it, all kinds of other things. They give you a list of 7 things as to why caveat emptor might be put onto that stock. It's kind of like a buyer beware sort of thing. So that got lifted from HMPQ, and now they are free and clear of that CE. And for me, that usually prompts a lot of buying and encourages a lot of buying on the investor's part. And we saw a little bit of that on this week, especially towards the end of this week. So lots of times what ends up happening with the removal of a CE, not only does it do that, but it gives the company an opportunity to finally be able to come out with PRs that maybe they had been withholding until the CE got pulled out. So if that happens, maybe there could be a nice little press release that comes out that maybe they've been holding back until they got rid of this caveat emptor status. So could be another one to watch out for. Maybe put it on your list and see what happens with it. I think that HMPQ could be going places. We'll just have to wait and see. So I think that's all I got for you guys. A good turnout tonight. Glad to see you all were here. Again, if you guys are interested in checking out my course, sorry about that. If you guys are interested in checking out my course, I am running a special right now. If you go to WeTradeHQ.com and enter coupon code WeTradeHQ, again, that promo code's in the description there, you will get $50 off. My course, you will get 30 days free of mentorship, which means that I go live. And it's an exclusive group where I go live from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern time, and you guys can learn and pick my brain and see my scanners and how I'm finding value in a lot of these stocks. And oftentimes I'll make live trades there as well if it calls for it. And you also get a free We Trade HQ t-shirt. So lots of free stuff, and I'm also giving you $50 off. So go check that out. Again, it's WeTradeHQ.com, and that is it. That's all I got for you guys. I love you guys too. And as always, I will see you all before the bell, and B Smith is out. See you tomorrow.